Good morning, everybody. My name is Terrell, and this is going to be my first ever YouTube video. For today's project, I've got a lot planned. So far, nothing's gone right. I intend on turning this pond levee that you see behind me, that's pretty grown up, into a beginner's shooting range, so I can start practicing and developing more skills on shooting, as well as I'll show y'all some pretty neat firearms that I've collected over the years. A lot of them are basics, nothing fancy, but tried and true units, as well as hopefully one day purchasing or being sponsored, possibly even by different firearms channels. So with that being said, I'm gonna get started cleaning out this lane. My original goal was to bring a forestry shredder in on my skid steer, but as I said, nothing's gone right. So that thing blew a hydraulic hose. Now I'm gonna just do it the old-fashioned way with my tried and true machete. It's gonna be a little while, but we'll start this process and I'll be back with you here in just a little while. Okay, everybody, I got my lane cleared out from the start of the shade right there all the way to the end. I've got an even 100 yards. Now I'm gonna go set some targets up, set my tables, whatnot up, and I'll be back. We'll do a little background history, things like that, and then we'll get started and see what we can do. As you can see, I'm gonna try to zoom you in a little. From right in that area where the shade starts, just right up in there, all the way down to that big tree right there is an even 100 yards almost. A little bit this side of that big tree, I believe. Probably around where this little straggler tree is. Like I said, we'll be back here in just a little bit. All right, everybody, this is Terrell again. I'm back. I spent about an hour. I've got the lane cleared out fairly decent. It's about 8 to 10 yards wide. And from where I'm sitting right here, it is an even 100 yards target to the end. I set up a 25-yard target as well. But before we get started, just something everybody should know when they're handling any kind of firearms: always make sure you take care of your firearms. Make sure they're not loaded. It's bad enough to have an accident with yourself while you're shooting, but it would just be horrible if you're out here with a young child and they grab a loaded gun, and I'm a long ways from nowhere, so it would take a long time to get some immediate help, and I'd hate to know what happened. So before we get started, I've got two firearms right here on my table. We will clear and safe these firearms, make sure they're not loaded so there's no accidents could possibly happen. First, I've got probably one of my oldest guns, is my Ruger 1022. It's got a green wood stock, supposedly stainless steel barrel that rusts more than anything I've ever owned in my life. You used to have a chrome scope to match. Well, that didn't last very long, so I've got this scope on here now, and I'm hoping it's sighted in, but we'll find out here shortly. To clear safe this firearm, make sure your magazine is out of it. Mine is. Set it to the side. Make sure it is on safety. It is. Pull back your charging handle, look inside, make sure there's nothing inside of the barrel. You don't want anything in the chamber. So that weapon is clear. It can't hurt anybody other than if you drop it, it's gonna hurt your toe. Next, we've got my DPMS AR-15 5.56. Standard AR rifle, there's nothing special about it. This one's got high mount scope mounts, and what brand is this? A West Hunter, what power is this scope? 6 power scope on it. I just mounted this scope on. It's not, I'm gonna have to set it in today, and we'll do a short video on how to sight in a rifle, how I prefer to do it. There's a million and one ways, but to clear and safe this firearm, just like before, remove the magazine, set it to the side. There's nothing in there. Pull back on the charging handle. Visually check inside of your chamber. This one you can reach in there and see if there's anything in the chamber. There's nothing in it. Make sure it's in safe. It isn't safe. Yet again, can't do anything but stub your toe if you drop it now. So now that that's done, I just want to talk a little bit, give you a little background story on myself. As I said, my name's Terrell, 42 years old, live in South Arkansas. Recently graduated from the Sonoran Desert Institute. I saw their video on a TikTok commercial, go figure. TikTok seems to be taking over the world these days. Said, you know, I know how to shoot firearms. I was trained in the U.S. Navy years ago with all the basic safety procedures and marksmanship training that they offer. I've been shooting and hunting my whole life. As I said before, this area behind me and behind the camera, it's about 200 acres of family-owned land that myself, my dad, my uncle, about the only ones that even come out here anymore. I bring my kids out. My oldest son will be 21 next month. My next son will be 18 this summer, and my daughter is 15 going on 16. They've all been trained how to shoot the basics. I'm going to start bringing them out here some, make some videos of them, showing you how to train a child or teenager of different ages. Anyone can learn to shoot. It's all about safety. You just have to take care of yourself and your firearms. But like I said, I did 4 years in the Navy, got out, decided to get married. Only good thing came out of that 13-year marriage was my 3 kids. Other than that, it was a long, lengthy divorce, tons of fun there, a lot of money spent, but I'm now currently remarried to my current wife, going on 3 years this Mother's Day. Best decision I ever made, and she is an avid shooter as well. She just doesn't have as much time to do it as she'd like. To be honest with you, she came into our marriage owning more firearms than I own, and is probably a better shot than I am. Like I said, I love her to death. She'll be in some videos later on in life if I can talk her into it. After I got out of the Navy, I went to Nashville Auto Diesel College in Nashville, Tennessee, which is now owned by UTI. Did that college, went straight into diesel mechanics. Been doing that ever since. Now I work for a city that is about 20 miles away from here. I run the mechanic shop for the local city. We've got tons of equipment, not enough help. So if anybody wants a job, you live in South Arkansas, find me. I'll get you a job. Like I said, I've been mechanicking. I saw this Sonoran Desert Institute, said, well, you know, that sounds interesting. I think I want to do it. I really enjoyed the courses. There's some more than others, but that's school for you. Matter of fact, this rifle, this whole scope setup, minus the scope rings, came from Sonoran Desert Institute through one class or another. Learned how to do quite a few things that I didn't know you could do, and I'm eager to open up my own firearm store. Planning on hopefully starting with an indoor firearm simulator, selling firearms, doing minor gunsmith work for locals around my area, and hopefully grow it into something larger, maybe have multi-towns in the years to come. But like I said, with that being said, I've got 2 targets set up out there. You might laugh at this video. I'm not one of those high fancy YouTubers that's got thousands of dollars to spend. As I said, I've got kids, I've got a wife, I've got a job, I've got bills just like everybody else. I'm shooting off of a 20-year-old table that the legs are falling out from under, but it's actually still good and solid. I made 2 shooting targets out of some scrap metal, and after trying to hammer them in the ground, I figured that now it's time for my middle son to take them to his Votech and fix them correctly, because I don't have them set up the way I want them. I've got another camera set at the 25-yard target. I will move it down to the 100-yard later on, sitting on a 5-gallon chemical bucket with my wife's GoPro on top to record videos, so hopefully I can show some impact shots down there. Nothing I have is fancy. Maybe one day it will be. I don't know how you go about getting gun sponsorships, ammo sponsorships, but if anybody wants to send one my way, I love free. Send it on down. I'll test it. I'll give you the God's honest opinion on what I think about it. And if you want it back, I'll send it back to you, but I'll have some fun with it in the process. So now for this, I'm gonna, oh, and always make sure you wear your proper eye protection, have your ear protection. Had to borrow my wife's, couldn't find mine. As I said, nothing's gone right this weekend for me, but hopefully we can get some decent shooting today, but no promises. If not, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna shoot a few 22s, a few 5.56s. Later on, I've got about 30 guns at home. So as I said, bear with me. I'll be back in a little bit. I'm gonna go turn on my camera down there, get it rolling, come back here, load my 22. We'll start with it, do a little plinking, see what we can do, and we'll get started. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. I've got the camera rolling down at the 25-yard target. Not sure if you can see it on here, but it's down there a little ways. Well, crap, I forgot to I painted them all white so I could see it. And I forgot all about putting some Sharpie points on there in order to see what I'm aiming at. So let me walk down there real quick and put them on there. Be right back. All right, everybody, I'm back. If any of y'all seen me run down there just a few feet, trust me, you ever see me run again, keep up, because I do not care for running at all. No running days ended in the military. All right. Like I said, this is just a little Ruger 1022. It's nothing special. This gun was bought at Walmart when I was probably 10 years old by my dad. I couldn't count how many bullets I've shot through this gun. He'd buy me usually 1 to 2 bricks of bullets a week, and they would be gone before the next ones would arrive. And the only problems I've ever had out of this gun is, as I said earlier, the stainless steel barrel. It's still rust. Doesn't matter what I do, how I keep it clean, it always rusts on me in little spots. Not sure if you can see it, but there's just little spots all around. It looks like stuff's been spilt on it, but I promise you, that thing's been in the gun cabinet for a few years and it just rusts. But it doesn't affect the shooting on it. So I just don't really worry about it. Like I said, it's my good little squirrel gun, knockoff gun, stuff like that. Other than that, had to replace a magazine one time. And like I said, this gun has who knows how many rounds fired through it. Now, if I can figure out my wife's lovely little fancy headphones here. There we are. Typically with a 22, I don't worry too much about them, but I'm going to do it the right way. If I'm going to show people how to do it, might as well be right myself. All right, well, let's see what we can do with 25 yards. We'll get all this set up, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I've got this thing adjusted the best I can get it. Not a fan of using one of these rifle holders, but see it as how I'm wanting to make sure these things are somewhat accurate. I was going to use it this time. We'll see what happens. So here we go. Okay, that's 10 rounds. I'm gonna walk down there. I'll probably bring this camera with me just to get a closer up video of it. We will pull this magazine out, Make sure rifle's cleared. It is. Safety's on. And I always like to just turn it to the side just in case. So let's go see. All right, so as I said before, I literally have a GoPro on a 5-gallon bucket here. I painted 3 dots on this steel target, 25 yards. I'm not sure if you can see it for the sun, but them 3 right there, those 3 are in that. Now I put 4 right into the head. Okay. All right, everybody, I'm back. I walked down there, drew a couple of black dots with some Sharpies. Oh, and I just dropped another bullet. I'll have to find that in a second. Now, while I'm reloading this one, just out of curiosity, why is everybody out there that might ever watch this video, what's your reason for enjoying shooting? Is it just to say, oh, I'm the best shot in town? Or yeah, I've done that? Or is it like myself, I just enjoy getting out, enjoying some peace and quiet, getting off that recliner out from behind that television that usually has nothing but junk on it, even though I'm addicted to several junk shows. Or y'all preparing for the lovely zombie apocalypse like some people do. Who knows what kind of apocalypse we'll get one of these days. Well, this old grass so thick, I'll probably never find that bullet. Oh, there it is. Found it. The price of ammo these days, you don't waste it. You find every one. But all right, well, I've got magazine back in. We line this up to the 100-yard. Now, I will tell y'all on this particular rifle, I bought this scope from Academy Sports whenever my original one went out. It's sighted in real easy. Didn't take long at all. It's 3x9. It is a Pursuit. It was a real cheap scope. But like I said, for what I use a 22 for, works great. One neat thing about it is it came with hash marks where you sight it in at 25 yards and you can lift up and go to 50, turn it to 75, turn it to 100. Now it came with no original mark to line it up with, so I just put a little scratch right there. Nothing major, it's my gun. Come at me if you want for scratching my scope, but it's still a safe firearm. Whether or not moving it to 100 yards will hit the dot, I don't know, but we're about to find out. We'll shoot 10 rounds. I'll walk down there, bring y'all guys with me. We'll see how far off or how far accurate this thing actually is. And we'll give it a decent, honest review and see. Because like I said, I think I paid maybe $39 for this scope several years ago. It wasn't very much. I didn't want a high dollar scope for this rifle. So let's see what happens. Safety's off and here we go. I'm gonna, well, it was set right, now it's not. Raise this back up some. Okay, there it is. Now we're back to close. From what I can see, the preset at 100 yards, it is shooting, 2 or 3 inches above the black dot. So I'm gonna back it off just a little bit, then we'll see what happens. Still shooting high. Let's drop it back down to the pre-marked 75. And we're out. Put it back on safety. I'll go and pull the magazine out. And let's walk down there and see where it hit. All right, I'm back. So as we see, at the preset 100 mark, shooting top edge, getting pretty high above the dot. Same was up here. I shot a few rounds, shot high above it. When I dropped it back down to the preset 75 mark, you get a lot better setup right there. So now I know that either I didn't set this gun in right, which is a good possibility. It's been years ago. I just threw it on, set it for 25 yards. So that's about as far as I ever shoot with it. Went from there. Or it is off just a little bit in its adjustments. But I'm going to say it's probably more of a me factor. I will do some research on it, see what I can do to get dialed in a little bit better later on. Now I think we're going to go back. I'll move my lovely little GoPro over here, back to the 25 yard, and we will see what we're looking at with the 5.56. All right, everybody, I'm back. I've got to sit back up at the 25 yard line. Like I said, this is my DPMS AR-15. It is in 5.56, like I said earlier. I've got magazine back loaded. I have not chambered around yet. I've somewhat set it up, lined it up. So I'm gonna chamber this, shoot a few rounds, just see if I can walk down there and see about where I need to adjust it. Now for the adjustment of this scope, I'm going to do a separate video for that to show you how this scope sets up. This is a mil dot scope, so it does have the mil dot markers. So whether it is a true mil dot at the, I believe it's supposed to be 3.6 inch range, and then even 1 mil in between the middle of each dot, I don't know. But if I don't learn it today, I'll learn more of that. Like I said, I have just a small amount of ammo for this gun, so we're just gonna have a little fun with it, see if we can get it sighted in for the next go around where I have more ammunition. So for that part, I'm gonna use charge handle, chamber around, unsafe it, take 1 or 2 shots, and we'll walk down there and see where we hit. Oh, I almost forgot my hearing protection. Put that back on safe. I love these lovely teal ones. They don't quite fit right, but I can't hear much. That it hit just a little low and a little left. I always like sighting in at 25 yards myself. No point in wasting ammo and a lot of time walking back and forth to the end of 100 yard range. So as we said, we'll clear the weapon just to make sure while we adjust everything. Okay. Weapon is unloaded and cleared. Let's see, this, I have to lift it, so I need to go up. I'm gonna say it's usually 1 click is a half MOA. So I'm gonna go up. We're gonna go up 2. There's 2. Same width. Need to go to the right. I'm gonna say 4, and we'll see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, is it necessary to safe your weapon every time? Probably not. Especially if you're out there by yourself. You keep it on safety, you're probably okay. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to do it by the book way. Oh, I do not like this gun stand. What I can tell, it is inside the black dot. I'm gonna walk down there and take a quick look. I'll be right back. Okay, I've walked back down there. I'm honestly not sure if I even hit the target. How I missed it, I don't know, but we're gonna try it again and just send a few rounds and see what happens. did hit the target. I just keep hitting the same hole, so I'm really not moving it as much as I thought. So we're gonna go up 4 or 5 clicks. I'm gonna go to the right. Oh, it's gonna take a lot. So we're just gonna wing it and give it a try as far as number wise. That put me right into the middle of the dot, which is still a little bit low. So I'm gonna go up about 4 clicks. Up is to the right, to the left. And we will aim at a different dot and see what happens. This time I'll aim at the dot on the left lower. We'll see where we hit. Right, it looks like at 25 yards, this rifle is hitting dead center in just about every dot. So I will walk down, move the GoPro, and we'll see what it'll do at 100 yards. I think it's gonna be just a little bit on the low side. So I might have to go up probably 3 or 4 clicks to set it in 100 yards. And then we'll come back to the 25 and see what the difference is between 125, if it's useful from 100 to such a short distance of 25 with a 6 power scope. All right, everybody, I walked down, set the GoPro up so we can see the target at the 100-yard mark. Got to excuse me. I had to get me another Diet Mountain Dew or Diet Mountain Lightning. Oh, it's done got a little warm out here. It's a nice day, but that much walking, it'll definitely wear you out. Especially since I just had a back surgery a month ago. Well, 2 months ago. A month healed up and the doctor told me to start doing more. So hopefully this is what he meant by that. I'm doing more, doc. But with that being said, I've been thinking all last few weeks, today, if I do open up a firearm store or any kind of gunsmithing business, what's the name for it? I couldn't think. What should be the name for this channel? I mean, it's hard to come up with a creative name and then all of a sudden you find out it's been taken. So more than likely the one I've got's been taken. If it has, I apologize, forgive me. We'll figure something else out, we'll go from there. But see how the doctor said I needed to get more exercise, strengthen my back up. And this is some pretty good medicine from what I can tell, is walking back and forth. I think I'm gonna name this channel and any future business of mine, Prescription Firearms. Get your dose of medication here. We've got multiple calibers to choose from. So with that being said, let me line this gun back up to the 100-yard mark and see what we can do. All right, that right there is fairly close. Like I said, I'm not a fan of this gun stand. It just might work for a shorter person, but I'm so long-armed at 6.5 foot tall. It's just not my favorite one. So I'm gonna do some research, even if I just had to get some sandbags and do it the old-fashioned way. Let's see what happens here. days with 6 power, I can see the target, I can see the dot, can't see the point of impact. Really wished I had one of them real nice high dollar spotting scopes you see some of these shooters have, but I don't. So guess what? It's time for more medication. It's to get to walking. Be right back. Okay, that dose of medicine's over. I'm back at 100 yards. What was sighted in dead center at 25 is shooting about 6 inches high at 100 yards. So this bullet has a lot of rise out of this gun. So I'm gonna lower it down a substantial amount. My windage was dead on, and we'll see what happens after we lower it some. Let me make sure I go the right way. Up is left, down is right. I'm gonna set it back to about, actually, that is at the spot that it was at when I was originally a little low on target at 25 yards. We'll send 2 more rounds down and see where we're at. Well, hopefully I can see it through the scope this time. Like I said, not a fan of this thing. Can't get my face in the right spot. There we go. Okay, I actually can see them through there. I got lucky. Still shooting high, so we're gonna go down some more. About 3 inches high, so we're gonna go down about the same amount. And I'm gonna aim at the lower dot this time, so I've got a fresh target to look at. I'm still about an inch over, or an inch above. I just got a feeling that right there might be it. Let's see. Okay, I think it's in the dot. Like I said, I'm shooting at a dot that's probably about 2 inches bigger around at 100 yards. But let me walk back down there, get one more dose of my medicine, and then we'll shoot. If it's right, then we'll just shoot off the last of the rounds. And hopefully my last few rounds, I decided to go and buy a small bottle of Terranite, or a version of Terranite. I don't remember what brand this is. I've never shot it before. I've seen a lot of videos. It looks like a lot of fun. So we'll set it out there at the 100 yards. Just see exactly what happens with it. Be right back. All right, back yet again. Hope everybody missed me a little. Okay, after doing those adjustments, I am shooting just half an inch above center mass at 100 yards. So I'm pretty happy with that. Now, when I get some better targets, get some stickers to put on it that are more accurate than a hand-drawn Sharpie marker, then I will try to fine-tune it a little bit more, especially a better gun stand, one that actually the rear holder's not hitting me in the cheek every time I shoot. But like I said, we're starting small. We're starting at the beginning. I hope everybody can come grow with us, have some fun, learn some stuff, teach me some stuff, because I promise you I will never say I'm an expert at anything. Might be a jack of all trades, but I'm an expert at none. Well, with that being said, let's see. I've got, I don't know, about 5 rounds left in here. Yeah, looks like 4 in the mag, 1 in the chamber. I'm gonna shoot those at the close target. I didn't move my GoPro this time, so y'all won't get to see those impacts. I don't have it in me to walk down there right now, but I have a feeling it's gonna be a little high. But like I said, this is a mil dotted scope, so I'm gonna hold 1 mil low and hopefully put center mass of each target and just see what happens with these 5. I think for this, I will get rid of the gun stanza right now. I will just use free aim on it. And like I said, I aimed a little bit off. Ended up having to aim high, about, 1, 2, about 3 mils high. Because this scope, I'll try to get a video of the scope here in a second. Not sure if I can get it. It is set up with lines and dots. So I aimed about 3 dots above it. All ended up pretty close to the center mass of it. Like I said, obviously it's cleared rifle, nothing in it. We'll chamber it back. Set it to the side. Let me walk down there. I've got, let me find it. It's over here in the bag. I purchased this from my local Atwood store. Nothing like a good farm store to have all the fun stuff you ever need. This is Sonic Boom. Pour the gray powder into the plastic jar. Shake it and mix it for about a minute, minute and a half. Then have a bullet, at least a 40 grain bullet at 2,200 feet per second. Suggested rounds are a 223 or larger, so yeah, this rifle will work for it. So let's mix this up. Good Lord, they put a seal on it. There we go. Maybe. Didn't break the seal. Oh. It's got a little thing on it that I done messed up. I guess I didn't read the instructions all the way. Ladies, gentlemen, read the instructions. Save you a little time. There we are. Don't worry, I'll pick that up in a little bit. I don't like leaving my place all nasty. All right. Man, that's some fine powder. Get all that in there. Like I said earlier, I'm cheap. I like cheap, I like free, and I'm not gonna waste anything. We're gonna get all of it in there. All right, so I'm gonna shake this up real good. Got it tight, like I said. But yeah, anybody's got any questions, comments, concerns on anything I'm doing, please feel free. I'm not a Karen, I'm not a Linda, not a Felicia. I wanna know I'm doing stuff right. I wanna know y'all are doing stuff right. Because at the end of the day, like I tell my guys in my shop and all the people that work around and for me, I want to go home in the same shape I came to work in. All in one piece. Been a mechanic for 25 years. Still got all 10 fingers. I'm happy with that. Know a lot of them that don't. Worst I've had is a couple of back surgeries. But like I said, being a mechanic, you're going to wear your back out bending over the hoods of these cars for long periods of time, all day, every day. But if y'all see something y'all want me to do, feel free, shoot it. Shoot it out there. If I feel safe doing it, I'll give it a try. If I don't feel safe doing it, I'll tell you, hey, I'm not comfortable with that. Let's figure out something else that we can do to make myself comfortable on it. Because, in all honesty, these targets I made down here, I'll show you here in a little bit. I'll do a close-up of them as I walk down and put this out. A roughly 3/8 steel plate. What kind of steel, I don't know. It was found in a scrap pile, you know, but it's good steel, you know, probably used for a trailer or something at some point. 22, bounced right off of it, left a little black spot, not even a dent, naturally. 5.56, punched a hole clean through it like it was a hot knife through butter. So always remember, these bullets, these guns, they don't care what's on the other end. They're gonna get the job done. Now, let's go take a look at these targets, set this out, see what we did. Like I said, at 100 yards, 22s, didn't even dent the metal. 5.56. You see straight through it. Let me see if I can find a stick here. Well, no, at 100 yards, almost straight through it. It did stop at 100 yards, but this is some thick steel. It lost a little velocity. You can see it wanted to come out, broke through a little bit. So always make sure you know what you're aiming at. Please, please, please make sure you know what's behind you. I know I don't have a big berm. There is a little knoll back here, but I know what is behind this point. This is about 75 to 100 miles of absolutely nothing but trees and woods. There's nothing in any direction around me except for behind where I was shooting, which is where my uncle lives, about 2 miles the other side of nothing but trees and woods. So always make sure you know where you're shooting at. Oh, by the way, I got a beaver. Not a fan of a beaver, but he is fixing my broken spillway for me for free. Let him do his thing. Good beaver. All right, I got my 1 pound of explosive target here. I'm about 10 yards away from my regular target, so it should be fine. Hopefully, set my GoPro up over here so I can get footage from both behind me and up close. Hopefully I don't tear up my GoPro in the process. Wife probably killed me. Like I said, that belongs to her. If I do, please, people, send me some cash to replace it so I can keep doing this. Okay, everybody, I'm back. I've put about 15 rounds in the magazine. Not chambered or anything yet. Still on safe. I'm gonna save a few rounds for just in case. You never know when you need a few rounds around the house. I set my explosive target out at about 90 yards roughly. Unfortunately, I had to set it on top of my 5-gallon bucket that my GoPro camera's been sitting on. So I'm probably gonna lose my bucket. But my GoPro camera is about 10 yards towards me, pointing at it, so maybe we can get some good footage. Like I said, I've never shot this stuff before, just seen videos. Hopefully I don't tear up my wife's GoPro camera. God, yeah, she's mad enough at me right now probably anyway, because I ain't at home spending time with her on a Saturday morning. But if I do, I'll buy her a new one for her birthday. And I'll buy me one also so she can have her own. So, with that being said, hopefully I'll make a fool of myself, shoot 15 rounds and not hit nothing. But here goes nothing. Took 2 shots, so don't look like too big of an idiot. Everybody misses some every now and then. But it definitely exploded. Made a big boom. That was just 1 pound worth. Pretty impressive. Might have to get some more, see what we can do with that later on. All right, everybody. We'll be back for the next go around later on, another weekend. Always remember, keep your firearms in a safe spot, away from kids. We have enough problems with kids, school shooters, things of that nature nowadays as it is. No need in having unintentional accidents in the home place. Always make sure your firearm's unloaded whenever you're using it. Make sure it's in a safe position. You know what you're pointing at. As I showed you already, these bullets will shoot through 3/8 steel with no problem. So what you see in the movies hiding behind the car door, personally, I don't believe is going to do you any bit of good. Just make sure that you always know your surroundings, what you're at, where you're shooting at. Always try to be as safe as you can. Today, I'm going home almost in the same condition I went in. As I said, now that I've got a name of Prescription Firearms, I'm now a little bit tired. But we're gonna walk another 100 yards down, 100 yards back, and then I'll drive the good little old Ford Ranger down there, pick up all my targets, do some work on them, get them where I want them for next time, so this will be a little bit easier, a little smoother, a little faster. And hopefully we can make 2 or 3 decent videos out of this one right here. So y'all like, follow, subscribe, whatever they tell you to do on YouTube, I don't know. Just follow along in my journey. Let's have a little fun, see what comes of it. All right, everybody, good news. The wife's GoPro camera survived, and she is still recording. Now my bucket, on the other hand, seen better days. Sorry, bucket. I'll clean all this up later. Stop that recording. Figure out how to turn this off before the battery dies. And like I said, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. For some reason, it won't let me flip my camera around, so everybody have a good time. We'll see you next go around.